The system told me to raise the kid, but I was totally useless growing up. The young villain came home holding 2 perfect test papers. I'm going to Harvard. I shoved my Call of Duty controller at him. What good is Harvard? Help me hit rank of first. After finals, the young villain looked crushed. I got the highest score in the grade, but it was 1 point lower than last time. I need tutoring. I promised while eating takeout. Sure thing. I immediately enrolled him in a gourmet cooking class. During his rebellious phase, the villain said he was going to the arcade. Afraid he'd get into trouble, I secretly followed him. I watched him detour straight into the public library. I thought, seriously? Years later, the Harvard-educated villain became a rising star in the business world, achieving massive success. During a speech at his alma mater, someone asked his secret to success. He looked down at me, sitting in the audience, chewing a massive piece of gum, playing a mobile game, and listening to an audiobook, and said coolly, having a very fun-loving aunt. I thought, wait, what? When the system brought me to Luke, he had just lost his mother. He wore a black armband, his long lashes lowered as he quietly wrote at his desk. Hearing the commotion, the thin young boy barely lifted his eyes, gave me a fleeting, neutral glance, and buried himself back in his books. System, alright, your current identity is his. I jumped in immediately. Aunt. System, a stepmother wouldn't work? It sounds so much cooler and distant. I argued, what do you know? An aunt is the most loving, glamorous person in a kid's life. Rich and stylish. I was my aunt's most loyal servant growing up. See? Instant connection. With that, I flipped my big, wavy hair, walked forward on 10-inch heels, and flashed a charming smile. Luke? The lean boy didn't stop writing. He murmured a quiet It's almost Christmas break. Why are you still studying? I reached out to ruffle his soft hair. Such a good boy. The moment my hand touched him, Luke violently flinched away. He instantly covered his head with both hands, eyes tightly shut. His whole body was trembling slightly. I froze. Just as I was about to ask what was wrong, I saw the bruises on his wrist, a vivid blue-purple against his pale skin. The system explained, Luke's mother had developed a mental illness after the divorce. When she was well, she'd cook and clean for Luke. When she had an episode, she would see a 99% score on his test and beat him with a willow switch. She would scream hysterically, I work myself to the bone to provide for you. Is this how you repay me? You won't do anything else. You will only study. I only have you left. If you don't succeed later, I'm ruined. Eventually, her voice would fade to a thin, strained whisper. Luke, are you hurt? Come here, let mommy rub it better. Luke would crawl up from the floor, raw, bloody stripes crisscrossing his delicate skin. He never cried or hid. He would let his mother vent, then quietly say, it doesn't hurt, Mom. I'm going back to study. And he would sit perfectly still at his desk. Even though his shoulders ached, he would stubbornly grip the pen and start writing, crookedly. I listened in silence. I felt a pang of relief that Luke's mother was finally gone. Forgive me, Buddha, for my uncharitable thoughts. I might not know much about raising kids, but I was a kid once. I decided to give Luke the happiest, most unforgettable childhood ever. I grabbed the system's foot and shook until a stack of cash and a black card fell out. Thanks for the cash. The system clung to my leg, pitifully. Host, that's my emergency fund. I used my best manipulation tactic. I'm not saying I won't pay you back. I'll give you half the gold coins I earn once the mission is done. Gold coins were way more valuable than earthly money. The system instantly straightened up, happily wagging its non-existent tail. Spend it all. Don't hold back. That evening, I wheeled a small cart piled with snack bags and burst through the door with a dramatic shout. Luke, guess who's here? I dumped the snack bag onto Luke's book-covered desk. Then I hauled a stack of the newest smartphones, tablets, laptops, and game consoles